my name is Gabriel, and I am doing my mission project on San Gabriel. Okay.
Oh, now it's going.
Here is the courtyard. What if this is the mission cemetery?
Say that it's the oldest cemetery in Los Angeles County?
This is the oldest cemetery in Los Angeles County. This is the Mission Church. The church was built between 1791 and 1805 and dedicated on February 21st, 1805. This is a painting of
the Virgin Mary.
The Virgin Mary. That the Father showed the Indians when they first came here.
This grapevine tree was planted in 1925, so it is almost 90 years old. Cemetery was used for burials from 1778 to 1865, and faded archives reveal that 6,000 Indians were interred here during that period. Many of them were stricken in the devastating cholera and smallpox epidemics of 1825. The cemetery was first consecrated in 1778. 3 years after the mission was moved to the site, in January 29th, 1939, the Campo Santo was rededicated by His Excellency the Archbishop Cantwell. A 70-foot tall tree in December 1st, 2011, windstorm damaging the crucifix and St. John statue. The cross was replaced and the crucifix and statue were fully restored. The memorial was rededicated on Good Friday, 2012, 77 years after the original dedication. This is San Gabriel Mission Museum. These are pictures of old Indians. It's not right there. There is a lot of books like Island of the Blue Dolphins, Zia, San Gabriel Mission, Archangel, and the California missions. The Native American groups that inhabited the Los Angeles area did not give themselves tribal names. Instead they often identified one another by names of their village. when the Spaniards arrived. However, they assigned Spanish names to the Indians. Native Americans near Mission San Gabriel, for example, became known as Gabrielinos. Indian who lived by San Buenaventura were often called Ventureros. The people close to the Mission San Fernando were renamed Fernandianos. Most descendants of Mission
Indians.
Many Indians around the Los Angeles.
Most descendants of Mission Indians reject.
Most descendants of Mission Indians reject these Spanish names. Many Indians in and around the Los Angeles area have kept the name Chumash, or now prefer to be known as Tongva. These are old door hinges. Once used on the old side doors of the mission, these doors were too large. These doors were too large to swing on ordinary hinges, so two pivot hinges were used. One on the floor and the other in the head of the door frame. This pivot was fastened to the. These are more artifacts about the San Gabriel missions, the Indians, and old paintings. These are also old paintings of the San Gabriel mission. This is what the San Gabriel mission looked like a very long time ago. And these are also other very old paintings of the San Gabriel mission. This is also another really old painting of the San Gabriel mission.
These are religious paintings.
These are the model of the mission San Gabriel. This is what I would have done, but instead I visited the real thing. This winemaking equipment is typical of that used on California ranches in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The grapes were crushed into the tanks and left to ferment. When the fermentation was completed, the purple juice was drawn off and poured into a clean sulfur-bearing barrel to age. The pulp mark was then pressed and either distilled into brandy or barreled as a wine. The same press was used on the Moiner Ranch at Palms near what is now Culver City. The land was part of the original Rancho Rincon de los Bueyes purchased from Esteban Figuera by late Marius Maynard, 1860 through 1945. Father of the donor, Mrs. Helen Moyner Aries. The fathers used to wear in the mission. Like, there's the robe, stick, whatever thing is. The old well was dug by the Franciscans for fresh water supply. Upon drying up, the Claretians filled it in with soil. According to Friar Raymond Catalan, CMF, to protect the inquisitive children. This well was used for the mission kitchen.
Move your fingers. The Tongva Indians, renamed Gabrielino by the Spanish, are the original people of the Los Angeles Basin. Their land stretches from Malibu, known as Onobinga, in Tongva to Balboa, called Mayanga. Their land encompasses the entire Los Angeles Basin from Santa Monica Mountains in the west as far east as Redlands, known as Kawachamanga. They occupied the 4 southern channels and lived from the sea Momat to the San Gabriel Mountains, or Hidakapu, as the Tongva call the Great Blue Mountain Range. Tongva lived in permanent villages, usually along or near rivers and streams, and built marvelous houses named Ki'i, out of willows and reeds. Tongva arrived in the area around 7,000 years or so ago, and their culture was almost wiped out in 1771 by the arrival of the Spanish. Tongva, from such neighboring villages as Hutunga, Awinga, Tobinga, Shishikuanga, and all these other ones, were brought to the village of Sibanga, where they were used to build the San Gabriel mission. These villages became El Monte, La Puente, Pomona, San Marino, Santa Fe Springs, and Santa Anita. Today, many descendants of the Tongva still lived on the land of their ancestors, called the Tovangar, the world. The Tongva Key House were built by Tongva Indians on October 2008 and dedicated on October 2008 during the Claretian Missionaries' centennial celebration of serving 100 years with San Gabriel Mission. An old cannon that belonged to the mission arsenal for protection was forgotten after the Mexican War in 1847 and rediscovered in a nearby riverbed after a flood in 1914. Displayed in San Gabriel Mission Gardens, rebuilt in 2008-2009 by blacksmith and historian Klaus de Bert, and was rededicated on Saturday, February 7, 2009. It's said the cannon was probably only used for ceremonies at the mission, since the cannon was found in 1914 and it hasn't been fired since the San Gabriel Mission's 200th birthday.
This is a historic anchor of Mission San Gabriel that blacksmiths made. This is the mission kitchen of San Gabriel. This is all the stuff they use to make food. There's the fire and the table that they sat at. Some foods grown at San Gabriel Mission included corn, beans, wheat, oranges, and wine grapes. I wonder if they made Oreo cookies here. This is where they made candles and soap, like a factory. As you see, there are 4 big giant holes. This is the main cemetery of Mission San Gabriel. All of my stuff that I was doing for my mission. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.